collarbone, Ken. We were talking about in the preseason to look for him to be somebody to be reckoned with, not only because of his speed, but he also gets a little flashy. And we also talked about he and Mark Webber being roommates. And there's the result, some big points, a lot of flair, both sizzle and substance for the Nevada Hot Dice.
Nevada Hot Dice close the gap to within 7. The Florida Sundogs have been on a roll, certainly the hottest team, and so far this game is absolutely no exception. Now you see trying to break free for the Florida Sundogs. This is number 13 as he takes a whip, Tom Smith, but already he's one of the Nevada Hot Dice. This is as they come around number 36 again, Jason McDaniel out. Now you've got all 4 jammers, Micah Martin, Jason McDaniel, Sam Martin, who lost his helmet, incidental contact, the referees wave play on. It's a referee's discretion when a jammer loses his helmet. If he feels it was deliberate, they call off play, but they wave this one on. And now it's Jason McDaniel up front, along with number 13, Tom Smith, as they close on the pack. And you see Richard Brown blocking out, does a good job of sending Tom Smith up into the rails. Sam Martin now also trying to get by Richard Brown. Some razzle-dazzle on the part of the Sundog Jammers, but so far, Richard Brown using all of his veteran experience to keep both jammers from getting by him. And now finally we run out of time. And no score on that jam, and certainly Buddy Atkinson, tremendous blocking by Richard Brown.
Excellent blocking is not the word for it. I'll tell you, he ran that team long enough. He knows those guys inside and out, and Marshall did a heck of a job, too.
And, Buddy, we can see, as you mentioned, Richard Brown used to be captain of the Sundogs. Emotions running a little high, doing some jawing with Sean Marshall, now getting some words of encouragement from Mark D'Amato. I still can't understand that holy alliance, or I should say unholy alliance between Mark D'Amato and Richard Brown. At any rate, the Hot Dice kind of hanging around in this one. It is 10-3. Now you see Sean Marshall at the top of the pack, along with Richard Brown, trying to get somebody to break free. Now Micah Martin comes free, takes a whip from Randy Garrett, goes high, along with P.J. Rossi coming out for the Nevada Hot Dice. And for the Florida Sundogs, it's Jonathan Russell with a big opportunity. In fact, this is the first time the Hot Dice have had an advantage on the jam. And now it's wide open. And now it is just P.J. Rossi and Micah Martin, the only 2 jammers out. This is the opportunity Richard Brown has been waiting for to get his team right back in this one after the Sundog women just totally annihilated his team in the first period. A great opportunity, and right there they both go around. And it was Micah Martin who skated at the infield, but he gets back up very quickly, or rather P.J. Rossi, and they both go by. And the referee awards a total of 4 points to each jammer. 8 points for the Nevada Hot Dice. And boy, not only are they back in this one, but unbelievable, they've now taken the lead.
Well, not only did Micah Martin score the points here, but I really have to comment on the versatility now that little Richard Brown has with the return of Jason McDaniel. He sent Micah Martin out as a jammer almost every jam so far, Ken, because he knows he has Jason McDaniel in his bag of tricks. These Nevada Hot Dice have a lot of big guns now for the men's side of the ball.
And you see the brother combination, the rivalry. Sam Martin grabbed the jammer helmet. No way was he going to take that from his brother's team. His brother scoring 4 points along with P.J. Rossi's 4. And now Sam Martin in the lead, but Micah Martin. And everybody runs into the pack. They all get jammed up. Micah Martin continues on through Tom Smith, goes through, Sam Martin goes down. I think he gets by Richard Brown. We'll wait for the scoring. Okay, Micah Martin picks up 2 points. Tom Smith picks up 1 point. Sam Martin gets 1 point. What looked like a Sundog blowout. The Dice in the lead by 1. We'll be back. Jam Arena. I'm Ken Resnick along with Lee Rehrman and Buddy Atkinson Jr. Very honestly, in that second period, the Sundog men fell asleep. The Nevada Hot Dice on offensive explosion, led by Micah Martin, 6 points, P.J. Rossi's 4 points, and Jason McDaniel's 2 points. And Hawk, certainly Micah Martin has the edge over his brother.
Well, Micah Martin really got it done, and the last time these 2 brothers met, if you're scoring at home, you remember Sam Martin was kind of nowhere to be seen, came up with the big victory to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And I guess Micah Martin didn't like it, because if you are scoring at home, let's take a look at first jam of the second period. Sam Martin scored 1 through first blood, but in the 4th jam, Micah scored 4 big points. And in the final jam, Micah scored 2, Sam scored 1 to bring the Martin brother rivalry, today at least, to 6 for Micah, 2 for Sam. So if you're scoring at home, Micah got the best of him, at least for the second period. And how about P.J. Rossi scoring 4 big points coming from nowhere, also for the Nevada Hot Dice.
And certainly if you're scoring at home, the Nevada Hot Dice women were totally dominated by the Sundog women. On the other side of the coin, The Sundog men totally were dominated by the hot dice men. Now, gentlemen, you may want to set your VCRs. Here is an entirely different look, one I'm sure you'll enjoy at the women of the World Skating League.
You're used to seeing the women of the World Skating League in the heat of battle. But at a recent charity event, these bank track beauties put their differences aside and showed that women can be strong and sexy. A good cause and a good time. This was one time when all the teams came out winners.
Now you know why I told you to set your VCRs. One of the gals you saw on that video, Denise Loden, says she has something she needs to say. Danny?
Denise Loden, you said you had a special announcement to make at halftime. Well, it's halftime. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. First of all, where's Sean Atkinson? Come here. Come here. Now, I think not so long ago, you had a question for me. What was that question?
That question was, will you marry me?
I love you with all my heart, and I'd be happy to be your wife.
All right, definitely an emotional, a surprising moment. Who knows the effects this will have on the World Skating League, but it seems like all her teammates are happy. Sean's happy. Rusty Montgomery certainly not happy. And very interesting. We'll see what happens. Back to you, Hawk and Ken.
It'll be very interesting to see the ramifications that acceptance will have with both the Florida Sundogs and the California Quakes. But, buddy, congratulations. Certainly in order, my friend.
I'm very pleased. In fact, I'm overjoyed. Great.
I would imagine you'd be pleased to have Denise Loden inside the Atkinson family. Buddy, in that second period, we talked earlier about the takedown Andrea Franklin executed. Not to be outdone, Mark Webber executed a takedown of his own, but this time with a very different finish. Why don't you take us through it?
Let's take a look at this, and it's really nice because Webber sets up so beautifully for this, and Mac is running perfect. You'll notice this. Now watch the double take, and he grabs a little bit, gets away with that, but